go to Dylan.
Hey there, Anthony. How's it going?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Appreciate the time today and everything. I was kind of curious because in fight booking is generally a little more nebulous. It's kind of like you have to wait on hearing whatever the matchups are, whereas in PFC, much more defined structure with the season, when the playoffs take place, etc. Do you prefer that more, I guess, defined kind of structure in the PFL here?
Oh man, I feel so good. Like it's been a long career of just wondering what's next, and quick weight cuts. And I fought. I think my last two fights were on like 17 days and 21-day notice. Whereas this is laid out for me, man. Like I literally just have to be a race car, and just my team pours into me, and I gotta go perform.
Thanks for the time, man.
Of course.
Up next, Tom Ward.
Hi, Anthony. Tom Moore from Gimme Sport here. Hope you're well. My question to you is, obviously, you've had a long and decorated career. Some would argue that you are one of the greatest lightweights to have graced the earth. My question to you is, how do you wish to be remembered?
I think my legacy is kind of already written, and it's still going, which is crazy. I'm 34 years old. This camp was amazing. I feel so good. The structure and the motivation and just everything that came along with this. Before, when I was up and coming, I wanted to be remembered as the guy who would fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. While I was going to 145, 155, 170. And now I have an opportunity to become a three-division champion, three organizational champion, and it could be done in a year. So I'm very excited about the opportunity that's in front of me.
My second question to you is, obviously, you have a very good relationship with Dana on your Instagram. I was just wondering if he said anything to you at all, any words of encouragement?
Yeah, me and Dana just talked this weekend. I mean, it wasn't about my fight. Obviously, what happened this weekend with Ben Askren fighting my teammate. But yeah, me and Dana are cool, man. Like that dude. I grew up, under that organization, and I was on the Wheaties box with this company. I've been all over the place, So it's I think it's a mutual respect, And Sean Shelby, he's the one that gave me my chance in the WEC. So yeah, I mean everything's very respectful there, and no hard feelings on either side.
Amazing. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
All right, Danny.
Hey, Anthony, Danny from MMA Junkie. Obviously, on this bracket, you're probably the biggest name in the entire tournament, given your history with the UFC, and obviously you were a former world champion. I'm wondering, how does it feel to have a target on your back? Because in the UFC, I mean, there's so many big names, right? But in this one, it kind of feels like you're the guy in the tournament. So how does it feel to have that big target on your back?
I was the champion in every organization I fought in, so I always had a target on my back, man. So I kind of embraced that role. I know what these guys are, looking forward to. Like the scariest thing about this is he has nothing to lose. Like he can go out there, bite on his mouthpiece, and just go. And that's where I'm trying not to get caught up in. It's another fight. These guys, there's some good talent in this division, and I feel like I got to be sharp. I got to be smart. I got to be on my game, and I don't plan on veering off from that at all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question comes from Justin Kish. I will read it to you. Tell us about your training camp for your fight against Clay Collard. Was there anything new you worked on during your camp?
Training camp was amazing. My little brother is in camp right now for a world title shot over at Bellator in 2 weeks. So the vibe in the gym was just off the charts. We had some great guys in camp. Yeah, I have worked on some new things. Getting out of my own head, and I think the last year and a half I've been very very vocal on just pursuing that mindset. That growth. And I hired a sports psychologist. I think that right there just adds to my game, adds to my already skill set that I have, and also we didn't go so hard in this camp, and I feel like we went hard when we needed to, but it wasn't like all out, all we can do, because I got to fight again in 7 weeks and then again in 8 weeks. So it was very more strategic, great game planning, and I had a lot of growth this camp.
Next up, Carlos. Carlos, you there?
Hi, Anthony. Can you hear me there?
I can hear you. What's up, man?
Top. other than the $1 million in the new format, what was interesting for you to sign for the PFL, since you were one of the biggest names in the lightweight division, and obviously you had a lot of options when you left the UFC.
Yeah, I think there was a couple factors that went into that. Obviously, the way they approached it, it was more of a partnership deal where it's not like other organizations where I just be thrown in and trying to work my way to a title shot, and also that I can earn a belt by the end of the year, and that's huge for me. I'm in this sport to be a champion, and I have the opportunity to be a champion by the end of the year, and also that $1 million bag is obviously nice.
And also, I want to ask you, we see what Ben did on the weekend, but you're fighting a guy that pursue an actual boxing career like Clay. What do you think about his move, like going to boxing and try to climb, not just to go there for the money or the attention, but to be competitive in another sport like what he did?
I respect it. Honestly, I respect it because I train with some high level boxers. I sparred with some of the best boxers in the world, real boxers. Like, to get better, I wasn't trying to like hype up a fight, and I know how good these guys are. So anybody that can go over there and hold their own, it takes some skills.
Thanks a lot, Anthony.
Thank you.
Sergio?
Anthony, how you doing, man? It's Sergio from the Fight Podcast.
What's up, bro?
Maintaining, fam. So let me ask you this. In the spirit of 420 and the high holiday, what are your go-to munchies? Allegedly, that is. I'm not putting you out there, man. Allegedly.
No, man. I mean, I was pretty vocal about it. I live in Las Vegas, but go-to munchies. Damn, you put me on the spot with that one though. Because I'm so hungry right now. Man, we're cutting weight. You got me talking about.
My bad, man. My bad. I really did.
Go-to munchies, man. Tacos, burgers, carbs. Honestly, just carbs.
That's what's up, man. Well, hey, love to burn one with you on the Fight Podcast one day, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate the invite, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go with Jay Anderson.
Hey, Anthony. Thanks very much for the time today. Jay from Cage Side Press. I wondered if you could talk a little about the PFL format and specifically, finishes being awarded more points for getting it done early. Are you a fan of that, putting emphasis on the finish that way? And, as a guy known as Showtime, does that kind of play into your hand a little?
Oh man, I always look for the finish. As fighters, we don't get paid for overtime. Our objective is to get in and get out. So yeah, I think it does play into my game great. I think with the flashy moves I have, the skill sets I have a lot of ways to finish the fight. Whereas like other organizations, other promotions, they give guys extra money or bonuses for this. This is going to be taking care of me for the playoffs. So there's a lot of incentives into finishing this fight in the first round.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Catherine?
Good afternoon, Anthony. Katie from Fight Chaser Media. What do you do as watching your career? What do you do to prepare mentally for fights?
Oh man, that's changed so much. I think early in my days when I was a champ and like right after that, I wasn't even aware of the mental side of this game until I actually met my sports psychologist, and he made me aware of how it actually works. And the biggest thing is staying present. Like the hardest part is staying present. Like when I'm training and I've done a jab across 1,000,000 times, I've done a high kick 1,000,000 times. So it's easy for my mind. You get 70,000 thoughts a day. It's easy for your mind just to pick one of those and wander off. And then all of a sudden, 15, 20 minutes later, you're like, damn, where was I at this last 15, 20 minutes? And as athletes, we only have a certain amount of time that we can train. So I was losing a lot of my practices by just my mind just going. And now I have the skill set of recognizing it, pulling it back, and then also not judging myself on it. Because I used to judge myself on a lot, like, oh, you dumbass, like, why are you doing this, or all my failures. But now that I understand, the game of life and the game of the mindset is being polite to yourself, recognizing and adapting.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Curtis?
Hey, Show. This is Curtis from the Big Curtis Show. Brother, you're the former UFC lightweight champion, a former WEC lightweight champion. And I just want to hear from a motivational standpoint, man, that not only you fighting, but your little brother Sergio about to fight for his big world title. The fact that in 2021, we could have you as champion, again, you've been at the head of the table, and we could also have Sergio as champion too. How does that make you feel, man?
Oh my God, so proud. Honestly, like I'm my little brother's biggest fan. When my dad died, I made it a point to take him under my wing, and the fact that he chose to follow me in this career path, and that he's good and he's killing it, man. It's amazing for me. We're definitely blessed. The Pettis family is just in a great spot this year. My mom actually had a dream, and she told us this a while back when I was the champ, that she saw both of her boys as champions. And then Sergio just texted me today. He's like, "Mom's dream's finally coming true," and I forgot all about it until just today. And man, like that's makes me more proud than anything I've done. Is for him to be where he's at. He just bought a house. He's doing very well. So I'm blessed.
That's amazing, brother. One more question here. Besides you being one of the greatest lightweights, man, that we've ever seen, a big thing in your career is when you did that big Showtime kick. Now, can we see something crazy like that this season?
Hey, I'm making sure I make that top 10 ESPN or World Star. I'm getting on something this weekend.
Let's go, brother. God bless. Best of luck this season.
Sean?
Hi, Sean Sheehan here from Severe May. A question I want to ask you, Anthony, you spoke about your progression outside of the cage mentally and things like that, but I want to ask you about inside of the cage tactically. One of the stats that I think shocks a lot of people is that you've won more fights by submission than knockout. Is that a thing that you've really kind of moved towards throughout your career? And where do you see yourself now tactically as an all-around MMA fighter?
Yeah, I think I was one of the the first guys to have a dynamic game off my back, matched with a good strong striking foundation and that flashy movement. But a lot of my submissions came because I hurt guys standing, and then they shot, and then I take the submission. There's only a couple fights that I remember where I actually had to set up and go through the process of trying to submit somebody. Man, I'm ready for wherever it goes. I got out of that mindset of like what they're good at, and let me like stop their game. I know how good I am. I'm a complete martial artist. I'm good everywhere, and my confidence is at all-time high.
Is taking the fight to somewhere where you can get submissions something you've looked at in the past because you had such a knack of getting them at one stage of your career?
I did it, man. Honestly, I like now that I'm understanding the game and knowing, especially with this format, like I need to get in there and get out and not be injured. We definitely, me and Duke just looked at that whole concept of like, instead of pulling back and letting guys come in with the pressure, we added a clinch game to my game. Clinch work, double legs, single legs. I mean, getting that fight to the ground is just an aspect of mixed martial arts. I'm not gonna go out there and try to like go for the submission. I'm gonna just get into the flow, and whatever happens, happens.
I appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you for the time.
Thanks.
Darnell Giovanni with MMA Allen here. How you doing today, Anthony?
I'm good, man. Can't complain.
Good to talk to you. Thank you for the time. So how do you balance having the management company as well and fighting at the same time?
Man, I got so much stuff. The first thing I opened was a taekwondo gym. So I got 2 taekwondo gyms. I own Roof of Sport with Duke. I have a barber shop. I started the management company. We got the fight promos going, but it's all stuff that I'm passionate about. Mostly things that I can actually take an active role in. The fight management, it kind of just comes natural because like the fighters already kind of look up to me, and they should as well. Like what I did in my career, where I'm at, and where I'm going. So that brings them in, and then once they see the skill set that comes behind the training, so we're a one-stop shop. We do the training, we do the management, we do the fights. Once my fight promotion starts, I'll have ability to get my guys fights. So it just kind of makes sense, and yeah, I enjoy that, honestly. Like business to me is like fighting. It makes you get into a different mindset, and you see some high highs, some low lows, and you just got to keep rolling with the punches.
That's awesome, and congratulations on that. And do you see yourself maybe competing in welterweight as well in the PFL if you win this tournament?
Most definitely.
Thank you.
When I win the tournament.
Yeah.
Tyreek?
Hey, Anthony, what's going on, man? It's Tariq from the Havoc Hour. We've seen you fight everywhere from featherweight to welterweight. Obviously, the most time was spent at lightweight. Did you have any thought about going to featherweight or welterweight first, or was it just lightweight?
No, lightweight's my home. I think the reason why I was going up and down weight classes was searching for that next big thing. I was the world champ on a Wheaties box. There's not much higher at that point in my career that you could get to. And then you lose the belt, and you kind of just got to go through like a restructure. And at that point, I was, like I said, my legacy was I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. And some big fights popped out, man. I fought Charles Oliveira at 145 pounds. He's fighting for a world title. Max Holloway at 145 pounds. I knocked out Wonderboy Thompson at 170 pounds. Man, I've done it all.
Also, we saw in the 2019 season back in the playoffs in Vegas, we saw you showed up there. Looking back, was that kind of, scouting the competition as you were planning on making a move?
No, at that point I didn't know I was making a move. I was still under contract and I had no idea. But I was not anywhere. On every show I watch, I judge myself, based on what I see, any organization. But yeah, at that point, I wasn't even thinking about moving yet.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Alder?
Hi, Anthony. This is Alder from Empire Sports Media in New York. Coming from UFC, do you feel any pressure or target on your back?
Oh yeah, I mean, just the resume I have, there's a target on my back. Everybody, these guys know who I am. These guys watch my growth in this sport, so definitely have a target on my back.
And second is, Clay was talking earlier and he told us that he saw you walking like you owned the building. And he said that he's gonna knock you out and see this fight as a coming out party for him. What's your prediction on the fight?
That's called confidence. That's what that's called. But my prediction for the fight is him laying on the floor looking at the ceiling.
Thank you.
Mike Middleton?
Hello, Anthony. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media. This is your first fight outside the UFC or the WEC since 2008. Did you expect to finish your career in the UFC, or was fighting another promotion always an intention of yours?
No, man, I'm a fighter. I mean, it doesn't matter what color gloves are, what canvas, or what shape. I'm a fighter. So I still love the process. I still love the training. I have the passion still for it. So yeah, I just feel like it doesn't really matter what organization I'm in or where the next fight is. Like when you're getting ready for a fight, that's all you're focused on. It doesn't matter. All that other stuff is just extra.
And as you mentioned earlier, you were the UFC champ, you were the WEC champ. With that being said, how much would a PFL title add to your resume?
That's why I'm here. That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm cutting down 155 pounds. Feeling so strong, man. Honestly, just so mentally sharp. I'm excited to go out. I'm scaring myself. I don't say that a lot, but in my training sessions, I'm doing things that I didn't even know I could do.
Superb. Thanks for the time today, Anthony.
Thank you.
Harry?
Hey, Anthony. Harry Mack from the Bookie's Basement. So I saw that you brought Christian Rodriguez into the bubble with you. So I just kind of wanted to know what goes into that decision and who you're going to bring from the gym and who the training team inside the bubble is going to be.
This year was kind of different because obviously because COVID, we had a longer quarantine, right? So usually Sergio's in my corner, but he's fighting for a world title, so I didn't want to break his camp up like that. So C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez, another great up-and-coming fighter from Rufus Sport, great striking, good ground game, kind of another guy I took under my wing, and it's just like what we have back at home. It's just like when your time is called, you got to get up and make things happen, man, and it's his time now. So he actually just got a opportunity to fight on the Contender Series, so big up for him, and it's going to be a great year for him as well. So just sharing that love, man. Like Christian Rodriguez did the work. He's been around the gym for a long time, and I brought him out to see what this is all about, and great decision. I think I'll bring him out for the rest of this whole season.
Awesome. I was at Christian's last fight at CFFC, so I'm excited to see that Contender Series shot. He looked great. Thank you very much for the time, Anthony. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Bobby Whitney?
Hey, how's it going, Anthony? It's Bobby Whitney from Lifestyle Media. I wanted to know, like, being one of the more decorated fighters in this tournament, what do you do in particular to, stay humble, keep yourself in that even kill where you don't get too high, too low, too big-headed? What do you do to keep yourself right in the middle?
Man, once I learned the skill set of being present, that's it. Like when you're present in the moment, none of that, you can't think about what people are thinking about you. You can't think about stuff that happened in the past, stuff that's going to happen in the future. You're literally in this one moment. So being able to take myself present is where, and people see the confidence, but that's because I train so hard, like the confidence comes from training hard. But being present is what keeps my mind focused and in this spot. I had I think about like 13 days, around 14 days maybe. Yeah, we're 14 days in, all by myself in my room, just getting present, man. And it's really a skill set. Once you can do it, you just got to keep flexing that mind muscle. And that's what I've been doing all week.
Thanks. Good luck on the fight.
Thank you.
Alex?
Hey, Anthony, it's Alex from Capeside Press. It was already said, but this is your first fight outside of the UFC in 10 years. I just kind of wanted you to reflect on your UFC career.
Man, it's been amazing. You know, for where I grew up at and the neighborhood I came from and the circumstances I came from, man. Like when my dad was killed, I was 16. You know, house robbery across the street from my house. So we grew up in a pretty bad neighborhood, and to see the things I've seen and the dinner tables I've sat at and the hands I shook, man, martial arts saved my life.
That's awesome. And finally for me, how is your new management Showtime group going?
It's going, man. The Showtime group is going to be a process. You know, I wasn't looking for like an overnight, sensation thing. Like we already have the factory, if you will, at Roofer Sport with the training. We didn't have the management company, so I was tired of seeing my guys get taken up by other managers and thrown to the wolves. You know, they're not looking out for these guys. So that was a big reason why I started my own thing. So now in house we have the ability to get the right fights, and I'm doing my own fight show. So now I have the opportunity to give my guys fights, get their records good, and then take them to the big shows and figure out what's next. So yeah, it's going. You know, COVID slowed everybody down, but our first show was in September. I have some great talent already signed on my roster, and I'm looking forward to growing that as well.
Awesome, and good luck.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there, Anthony. I just wanted to kind of address a bit of a follow-up question here in regards to just, what you're thinking with some of the, I guess, methodology for this one here. Like you were talking before about how you were talking with Duke about just training a little bit differently in a way that's mindful of being injured less frequently. It seems like less sparring is kind of part and parcel with that there. Are there other alterations to your training methodology that are mindful of that as well?
Now, crazy thing is not less sparring. It's just it's more selectful with my sparring. Like I said earlier in my career, I was like anybody, anywhere. This camp, I was very selectful of who was sparring, who was on the mat with. And my body is, I haven't felt this good in a fight for a long time. Injury free, feeling amazing, weights on point. Yeah, so I think this approach made me reevaluate everything. And honestly, COVID did too. Like when COVID hit, I had to decide who my training partners really were. I had to say all right, who do I need on this mat? Who needs to be on the floor? And then we just continued that. And now that I'm in this tournament format, it's just just makes sense, man. I think COVID, it's weird to say that, but COVID was a blessing on my training.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just wondering, I guess, if maybe recuperative measures kind of took preference here, or if any other aspects.
A lot of money on recuperative, man. I do the massages. I got a personal massage guy that comes, every night to my house. PT. I mean, I know that my body is my business, and if I'm not at 100%, I can't give you guys 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the time, man.
Thanks.
Daniel Milet?
Hey, Anthony. This is Breeze with the MMA Breeze Show. I wanted to ask you. You had a relationship with Ben Askren. You're the type of guy who's never shied away from a challenge. You're here in PFL chasing the gold in the tournament, the $1 million bag. But you saw what happened with him and Jake Paul after training with Ben Askren. Are you surprised about what happened? And personally, would you ever take up a challenge like that for the right purse?
Was I surprised? Definitely, man. Like I've spin kicked Ben in the head before, and he'd just walk through it, double leg me. But it was boxing, Ben. Jake has more hours in boxing than Ben does, and that's just probably facts, And I thought Ben would be able to withstand them a little bit longer than he did, but man, he got caught. He got caught clean. Shit happens. MMA, the fight game is crazy. Would I ever take a boxing fight? Most definitely, yes. I think. My hands are so underrated, guys. Guys don't see my hands because my kicks are so good, and I go to my kicks because it's easier to finish guys with kicks. Yeah, I definitely do want to try something with boxing eventually.
Cool, thank you, man.
All right, let's take a few more. Andrew Benjamin.
Hey, Anthony, this is Andrew of MMA Sucka. I'm curious to know, out of all the fighters in your division in PFL, who do you think is the toughest matchup for you?
Toughest matchup, obviously the former champ. He's 2 years, or not in a row, but he is. Well, yeah, 2 years in a row he won, but then a year off because of last year. But yeah, I would say the champ is probably going to be the most well-rounded guy. To face. But he's never fought no one like me, man. I just feel so confident going out here and just being myself. Once I get in that flow, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter who's across the cage for me.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Mike Pendleton.
Hey, Anthony, kind of just follow up on what you've been talking about with your management company and all that. Why is it so important to you? I mean, you kind of mentioned earlier, the neighborhood you grew up in and how much Sergio's success has meant to you. I think you know more than most how much martial arts can change the lives of so many younger people, male and female. So why was it important to you to still compete and take a focus on those coming, not just through your gym, but those that will follow in your footsteps afterwards?
I think I've been on the front line since the start of this thing, man. Like, I've been on these front lines. I've been making the waves and making a path, if you will, for most of the guys that followed my footsteps. And I create these bonds with these guys. Train hard with these guys, and create bonds, and then to see them get passed off to other managers or other positions and not getting treated the way I feel they should be treated, and that's kind of where that happened. I saw a hole, and we have a lot of talent in our gym that comes from our gym, and I wanted to make sure they're taken care of well.
Well, the Midwest needs it, so appreciate that.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Will Getling.
Hey, Anthony. Thanks for being here today.
Of course.
This is Will from the Fight Gods podcast. Sorry about that. I got muted for some reason. Oh, okay. So one thing I've always admired about you is that you've always been a trendsetter. When you came to PFL, it was pretty surprising, similar to Phil Davis going to Bellator. And a lot of people that are big name fighters that are still in their prime followed him to Bellator. Do you think some other fighters are going to follow in your footsteps and come from the UFC with big names to the PFL? And could we see Tyron over here?
Man, honestly, I'm not sure. I think most fighters. The crazy thing is, like, we're in charge of our own career, our own business. We have other people that can give us advice, but it's up to us at the end of the day where we want to fight at and what we want to do with our careers. Hopefully, none of them come until I win this $1 million.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, let's take our last question for Global Fight Talk.
Hi, Anthony. This is Sad from Global Fight Talk. First of all, congratulations on everything you just touched on that you have for you. Awesome to hear. You definitely deserve it. My question is about your opponent. We can go probably about 45 minutes talking about your resume and the type of guys that you faced. Where roughly do you rank Clay Collard in that list?
As far as like skill set is the question?
Yes, sir. As far as ability, skill set, and toughness.
I wouldn't fight anybody outside the top 10. So, I mean, until my last fight, I haven't fought somebody outside the top 10 in the UFC. So I think I have always picked the toughest fights. When I went up to 170, my first fight was Wonder Boy. I mean, I don't think he's lost since me. So I think it's hard to answer that question because I've been fighting the best in the world for so long, man.
All right, and one more question real quick. How's it been being in the bubble and adjusting your preparation?
Oh my God, it's been amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first 2 days, I was like, I got in here, right? My mindset was like, all right, here we go, 17 days, locked in my room. Once I got out of my room quarantine, it was dope, bro. They did an amazing job here, man. Everything is done very professional. We have a lot of space. The training rooms are probably the best training rooms I've been part of in all these organizations. Food's amazing for my team. My hotel room's dope. I mean, I can't complain, man. I'm just in a good spot. And then the fact that I'm alone for so long, I got to work through all my thoughts, all the insecurities, the confidence. I got to work through all that, and it's been a while since I've been this clear-headed.
Thank you very much. Good luck on your fight.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate you coming out today.
Thank you.